Hi again. It's me.
Okay.
So, today, I'm doing a challenge. Goodwood Revival was a couple of months ago. The Goodwood Hill Climb, I guess. I love watching that event. I really want to go to it in real life, see all the cool cars. It's such a great atmosphere. It's a really cool event. So, with my Australian brain, I thought, wow, you don't see many supercars there. There's prestigious cars from every single year, from every single racing category, from bikes to Formula 1 cars to GT to prototypes, NASCAR, everything. But yet there is only one V8 Supercar, and it is from back like 2010. A guy over in Britain owns it, and he drives it there every year. There is only one. So I thought, let's go through the generations of V8 Supercars and see which one can lap the hill the fastest. So that is what we're doing today. My gloves need a serious wash. So we're going to be starting with this beautiful thing. I've got it written down. The 1997 Tirana. This was driven by Peter Brock and what's the Donny's name? Someone Sampson. Oh, you can even see it on the front door panel thing there. So we're gonna try and lap this mountain as quickly as we can. H pattern. Let me check the stats on this thing. It has a lot of horsepower. V8.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Anyway, so here we go. H pattern engaged. Put in the clutch and try not to kill anyone. I think I have. All right. So here we go. First car, the Tirana. Let's see how this one goes. I've done a couple of practice laps up the hill, so I know where I'm going, but I haven't driven any of these cars, if not for a long time, so it'll sort of be like a first time go. So here we go. Let's stop waffling. Put up the revs. Drop the hammer. Oh, we didn't get away well there at all. Takes a long time to get up to first gear as the V8 kicks in. Oh, a little bit wide. That's not good. Anyway, we keep going. Did the wheels in the dirt there, a little bit sideways off the exit. Let the V8 scream under the tunnel. His old Tiranas. Coming to the braking zone. Get on the clutch. Back up the hill into the flint wall. Takes a long time to get that boost in. Brake nice and easy. Oh, it takes a long time, but when it kicks in, it really kicks in. Oh, a bit wide there. Now it's this flat run. Third gear. Through the forest and under the finish. Not bad. My timing hasn't showed up, so we'll check the time and we'll see how he did with that. That didn't feel too fast, but this car takes a lot of grunt to get that V8 to really kick in. So let's have a look at our time. So we did that hill climb in 59 seconds, so just almost a minute. So that's the first car. We'll move on to the second car, which is a fan favorite for people all around the world. I've lost Nissan. Okay. So this is our second car of the day, the 1992 Nissan Skyline, also named Godzilla. This thing absolutely dominated Australian Touring Car Championships for the 2 years that it was there, 1991 and 1992. It's all-wheel drive. It kicked the absolute arse of all the rear-wheel drive V8s in the field, and for that it was soon banned after only 2 years. But in those 2 years, it was absolutely dominant, and we're going to show you why. Right, we've got our timing at the top there now, so we can actually tell the lap time. So we're beating a 59.6. That's what the Tirana did, but this thing, I'm sure, is going to absolutely wallop that time. So here we go. H pattern engaged. We'll build up our revs. We go on our own mark. A better start, I'd say. And this thing launches through the gears, and you can hear the turbo flutter there. Oh, we take that corner wide again. Oh gosh, and we've deleted the track. Oh gosh. Like I said, I haven't driven these before, so it's quite difficult. Even better start, so we're getting good at the starts. Fly through the gears early on the brake. That's a better corner. Cut this corner here. Now let that Japanese turbo fly down the straight. We're going to brake a little bit earlier. Redline it. Don't lock up again. Hold it. Now the run up to the flint wall. Risky shift into fourth. Leave it third. Fly around here. Back the accelerator again. Drop it down to second. And now front up to the top of the hill. Oh, for an all-wheel drive, it understeers a bit. Smashes the Tirana's time, 52.106. That has absolutely destroyed the V8, as it did in its superior time. So, oh, that's a fun car to drive, man. I'll tell you what, that is fun. Yeah, that just shows the superiority of the car, and in its time, it was absolutely mental. So let's go into our second car, getting into the V8 Supercar regulation stage sort of things. Let's see if they're faster. So here we go, getting into some more iconic mid-90s supercar racing, or early 90s supercar racing. This is the Peter Jackson 1993 Ford EB, driven by Andy Jones and Glenn Seaton, the legends themselves, Bathurst winning duo. Yeah, so still a Group A car at the time, but this is when ATCC, Australian Touring Car Championship, was coming into the regulation stage of safety features and to make it a bit more equal after the Skyline, obviously. So let's rip this up the hill and see if it goes faster with its regulations and safety features. So still a H pattern at this time. V8, you'll hear the whine from the inline V8 engine. So let's kick this up the hill and see how it goes. Rear wheel drive. Listen to it roar. A bit of wheel spin off the corner. Still wheel spinning into third gear. Brake early. Oh, it's kicks off the exit. Brake again. Cut this corner. Listen to it, the whine from the supercharged V8 on the brakes nice and early. This corner tightens, we lock up a bit, get down to second. We hold it nicely though. It just wants to kick off the exit. It sounds amazing. Up to the flint wall now. Back down to third, we'll try hold as much as we can. Get on the power early. I'll kick it down to second. And here we go, we'll really let it rip. Back up the hill to the finish now. Into fourth gear, it actually kicked the rear out a bit, had to let off. A 52.7, so the Skyline's just beaten it. Wow. Actually, the Skyline kicked the ass of this thing. But maybe it's just my bad driving, I don't know. Well, there you go. So, you can still understand why the Skyline was banned. It was so fast. But what will be interesting later on is when we come into the 2010 cars, if they're quicker. So this is an iconic. It's the first of the Commodores. This is the VR Commodore, driven by Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall themselves, an iconic multi-time Bathurst winning duo. This is a 1995. This is a 1995 VR Commodore. 2 years older than the one we just drove. This thing was an absolute rocket at the mountain. Two very good experienced drivers. So let's see if it can go quicker than the Ford or the Skyline. So still H pattern again. H patterns didn't get out of supercars until the late 2000s. So we're gonna be dealing with that for a while, which I don't mind. But here we go. Sounds a bit similar to the last car. Much more wheel spin, but when we get into second, it calms down. Rip up to third. Through this corner, it's slippery as on the exit. So those wheels from the... Oh, it doesn't help when we get in the dirt. I'm just having to fight this thing in a straight line. It's got so much power behind it. Down to the gears. It's easier on the braking. We can get down to second a lot easier. It grips quite nicely there. Late braking. Oh, through the flint wall. Back down to second. And on the exit at red lights bit. Now after the gears. A little slide, but we don't have to give up too much. 51.457, so it has beaten the... It's beaten the Godzilla by about 0.6 of a second, so that is... Or 0.06 of a second, I should say. So that's a new lap time now. Wow. There you go. That's that was a really quick run. And I think they're only going to get quicker. Yeah, that handled quite well in the corners, but it really struggles in a straight line. It just wheel spins, and I was having to fight it so much. So I'm surprised I still got that time. Because if anything, I wasn't trying to push. I was just trying to keep it on the track. So yeah, I guess hopefully that the cars get a bit easier to drive from here on in. And let's move on to our next car. So we rock into the year of 2001. V8 Supercars are officially licensed under that name. This is Glenn Seaton's number 5 Tickford Racing. So we're going to rip this one up the hill, see if we can beat that Holden. Their cars, you'll notice, they're a lot bigger, a lot wider. They have a bigger V8 in them. You can probably hear it now. So yeah, let's rip this one up the hill and see how we go. Now I have to give a disclaimer. These cars were H-pattern, but I have to use sequential because this car is based off our last car of the day, but it just has a different body built into it. I've done some tweaking along with the mod that came with it, so it's not identical. It's a little bit different. It handles a little bit different, so it's going to sound the same. It'll handle a little bit different. It's normally H-pattern, but I have to use sequential. So just a disclaimer, but let's take the number 5 Tickford Racing up the hill, see if we can beat that Holden. I don't have to use my clutch this time. We have to go into third gear to stop the wheel spin. Oh, it's heavy into the turning. Third gear to stop that wheel spin. Have a lot more control, but it's a lot more heavier under the turning. Late braking, blip the throttle. Oh, a little bit wide. I don't think we actually got in the grass though. Up to the flint wall now. Late braking again, third gear. Run it close to the back, to the bales on the right. High gear, high revs, up into second, third, fourth, run it to the line. Do we get fifth? We do, easily. 51.764. No, okay, the Holden did a 51.6. No, 51.4. Never mind. So that is faster than the Godzilla, but slower than the VF? The VR. Wow, okay, so that run didn't feel too good in the first couple of corners, so probably could have gone a little bit quicker, but I think that these cars were a lot heavier, but a lot easier to drive. So anyway, that was 2001. We're going to move on to 2002, so just another year, just to see a different comparison between this Ford and the Holden. So this is a 2002 Commodore. Very similar. It's very similar. So this is more of a comparison between how the Holden and Ford. The Holden's dominated this time period, and there was a lot of debate on if the Ford was too heavy. We're going to feel that now, see if it is heavy or not. It says Ford VX up there, but it is a Holden, so I think there's the mod's a little bit confused. But yeah, we're gonna give this one a run, and we'll see if the Holden was better during this time period. Alright, so here we go. Very similar. I think it's going to be around the same time as the Ford before, but this is just a comparison within the years 2000 to 2003. So let's give this one a run. Try not to be so lead-footed off the start, which is still half throttle, and Wheel spin all the way into 3rd gear. We get into 4th actually, so Lockwood does handle a bit different to the Ford. Actually, it handles a bit worse. It's lighter in the cornering, but on the exits, it just wants to run away. Through the gears. We get to 6th gear. This thing is a lot quicker in the line. 3rd gear through here. So the gearing is different. I can hold 4th through here. 3rd, or maybe could have gone 2nd. 6th gear by the time we get up to the hill. Yet it's slower than the Ford by 700ths of a second, or by 300, sorry, of a second. Interesting, but it was faster than Godzilla. So Godzilla has been matched throughout the early 2000s. So interesting. Very, very interesting. Alright, we're going to go into the 2010s now with our last... we've got 3 cars. We've got 3 cars left. So this here is the number 5 Orcon Steel Ford FG Falcon of Mark Winterbottom. This was 2011, so this was arguably peak V8 Supercar time. These cars were still V8s. They ran like a dream. This is when apparently they got a bit tricky to drive, but the modern day driver could, you know, I mean, they didn't really get to experience what the cars were beforehand, but people like Russell Ingall, they were still driving these cars at the time, so they, from experience, would tell you that they were different. So let's give this one a try, see if we can beat... I forgot which car's in the lead at the moment. I think it's still that VF Commodore, so... Let's see if this can beat it. So in the modern era of supercar now, H pattern is no longer, so it's sequential shifting. Blipping down on the throttle is still needed, but shifting up and down, no gear ratio needed with the clutch. So let's see how this one handles up the hill. See if we can get a faster time than that VR. Less wheel spin. Actually still wheel spinning, but it wasn't as effective. Down to 3rd. Down to 2nd, I should say. Keep it 2nd through here. Cornering is a little heavier. Gear ratio is longer to get the revs out of the engine, as like it is mandatory that the teams could get the most out of the engine's performance, get the higher revs. That 110 litre V8 pushing up the hill through the flint wall. Actually a lot of downforce to there, so it felt really, really good. I'm going to try hold 3rd gear through here. We get a little bit wide and screwy on the exit. Does it hold up the hill? It does. Into 5th gear. It's a 47.016. That's blistered the time. That has blistered the VR Castrol of Larry Perkins. That has smashed it. That is incredible. So there you go. We did it. We did a 10 decade. We did it a decade jump of about 10 years, and it smashed the time. So a 47.016, nearly a 46. So that is the time to beat. We have 2 cars left. Last one of our Holdens is coming up. Let's see if that can beat the Falcon. So to modern supercar fans and I don't know, modern day Australians, this is the perfect car. A Holden VF Commodore, 2013 to 2017. This thing, or 18, I should say. Sorry, this car ran. Let's see if it's the last one of the Holden. So if it doesn't get the top spot here, we know who's better. Not really, but yeah, I'm gonna try fang this thing up the hill as much as I can and see what we can get out of it. I think it's going to go faster than the previous car, but I don't know. We'll see. This thing won like 7 championships in a row. So actually, no, Frosty, 2015. He broke that record. So yeah, let's give this a go. Last one of the Holdens. Let's see how it does. So this car and the next car that we're going to see are made by a team called VF Corsa, or V8 Corsa, sorry. You can go down, link in the description. All their mods are there for these cars and the 2022 cars. Still waiting for a Gen 3 car to pop up somewhere in the community for Assetto Corsa, so that won't be here today. But let's do this car, and then one more after this, and we'll crown who's the quickest supercar going up the hill. So here we go. Beautiful sound. Still wheel spinning in third gear, so a lot of power behind this thing. Oh, a heavier turning. We get on the grass a little bit. It's a lot heavier turning. We cut that corner quite dramatically there. That makes up for the time. Rip it down the hill. 5th gear already. Fifth gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. Sorry, gosh. Now at the 3rd, 4th. Late braking, back down to 3rd, clip that bale on the inside, run it close as you can to that wall, keep it in 3rd gear, oh, maybe go down to 2nd, hit the hay bale, run up the hills. They're going to be faster. 5th gear, a 51.092, so one of the slower cars. It wasn't a great run, I will be honest, but I just don't think it has the power that the older Commodores did back in the day, and that's obviously with regulations and weight distribution and all this other stuff that supercars handed out during the 2010s. So it's still a great car. It was fast in the real world. We won't doubt that. Holden had some great drivers behind him. So let's go to our last car, 2019 to 2019 to 2022. This car ran. Let's see if it can go faster than any car here. So here it is, Cam Waters, number 6, 2022 Monster Energy Mustang. Ford is on top at the moment with that surprising 2011 Ford Falcon FG. So can this knock it off the top spot? Let's find out. This thing is a handful to drive, so I guess we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I don't bin it too bad. This is the last car. And let's see who's king of the hill for the supercars. Keep running over people. I've done that every car now. Last car of the day. Let's give it all we have. Slow off the line because I'm trying to reduce wheel spin, but it doesn't seem to matter. This thing just wants to burn out down the straightaway. And okay. Let's try that again. Oh, and jump on the exit. This thing has power behind the wheel. So our 600 horsepower to the rear wheels, maybe more. I've locked up and gone across the track. Alright, gonna give this one our everything. Trying to reduce wheel spin, be nice and easy on the throttle. Still just wants to burst out into 3rd gear. We were still wheel spinning down to 2nd now to make this tight corner. 3rd, watch the rear of the car step out when it gets to the high revs. Down this straight line. Brakes are cold, so I've got to take this nice and easy. Not lock up. It's very easy to lock up in these things. No ABS, no traction control. See it just jump out of my hands on the exit. Clip as close as we can. We're good through this section. 4th quickly. I'm not making another mistake here. I'm taking it to 2nd, but it wants to jump on the exit. Now run up the hill. 5th gear, have to short shift. 51.879. So I don't actually know where that posts, but wow. That's a handful to drive up there. So the FG Falcon from 2011 has smashed it. It has absolutely smashed it. It did a 47. Well, there you go. That's that's surprising. I'll put up the results on screen now. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be on Twitch every now and then. Join the Discord. Link will be below as well. And yeah, there you go. So the Ford FG has taken the top spot there. But just a rate that this sport in Australia is so cool. I recommend that if you haven't watched it already, go on YouTube, find some old clips, watch it now. Yeah, it's a great motorsport, and it's brought up some brilliant cars throughout the years. When a Gen 3 model comes out for Assetto Corsa, I'll make sure to make a video on it. Let me know what you want me to do with it, whether you want me to run it up here and compare it to all the other cars that we've done today, or test around, muck around with it, take it to a track that you guys want. Let me know. So yeah, anyway, that's it for today, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.